couple of years ago, developer Bizarre Creations paved new ground with the release of the racing title Project Gotham Racing 3 for the Xbox 360. The game offered up the perfect mix of fantastic visuals, tight controls, and hosts to a slew of online options. And with the current release in the series Project Gotham Racing 4, the developer sticks to what worked best while refining some core elements in the overall design and adding in a dazzling array of weather effects. You'll experience racing in thick fog, slick ice, and light powder, but it's the rain effects that will catch most of your attention. The developer clearly spent a lot of time perfecting the way the tiny drops of water react to bouncing off your hood and windshield, as well as reacting to the environment itself. Puddles of water can and will build up on the track, and that one corner you thought you had mastered, well, now it can result in an uncontrollable hydroplaning slide into the wall. No kudos for you. Speaking of which, the kudos system is still in place, making drivers not only want to check in with the fastest time, but doing so with style as well. And it's this fundamental piece of the PGR experience that not only sets this title apart from the others in the genre, but really adds a whole other layer to the gameplay. Some tracks in the game will feel familiar, but new locations will have you trekking across the globe to places like Macau, Canada, and the eye candy of the neon-lit streets of Shanghai. Again, the developers have taken the time to create some truly authentic and detailed landscapes and racing environments. The downside is you'll want to throttle down just to check out the scenery. The game offers up a much more extensive list of cars to choose from this time around, ranging from low-end models and, of course, to the high-end exotics. But car control is still a nice mix of arcade-like basics, but advanced racers will learn how to carefully work the throttle, gear shifting, and brakes. Then there's the new addition of motorcycles. I'll be honest, I was excited when I first heard that they would make their way into the game, but my opinion has changed a little since taking to the track. It's not that the abundant assortment of crotch rockets aren't fun to drive. In fact, the control is pretty basic. It's just that when in a race that combines both cars and bikes, there's a fundamental shift in the balance of the gameplay, where bikes have the clear advantage. Granted, there are some faster cars, but the acceleration off the line and handling of the bikes usually lead your way to victory. Game modes are what you'd expect. There's the single-player arcade mode that will have you racing different events and beating challenges for medals, time attack modes for racing the fastest lap, but it's the Gotham career mode where you'll spend most of the time in single-player, where your goal is simple: become the #1 rated driver in the world. You'll play through a series of events based on the race calendar. These races vary from street racing, cone challenges, eliminator, and others. Remember, kudos are the key, and the rating structure is based on the amount of kudos you have earned. So while coming in first is important, that driver who placed third but did it with some style could possibly come out ahead. While climbing your way up the leaderboard, you'll want to take a break and hop into the multiplayer seat on Xbox Live. The game, just as in the past, played great, lag-free for the most part. Most of the single-player modes are available here as well, and there's also team races, cat and mouse, and the new Bulldog. Gone is Project Gotham TV, but we're given PGR on demand, which lets you upload, or download for that matter, photos and race replays. Check out your friends' wild snapshots or upload a customized photo of your own for the world to see. While the overall gameplay hasn't been tinkered with much, there's still enough freshness and refinement in this fourth installment to warrant you hopping into the driver's seat and taking a few more laps around the track. PGR 4 is out now, it's rated for everyone, and Texas Gamer gives it a 4 out of 5. Now, if you really want to simulate what it's like to get behind the wheel of a $300,000 race car, you might want to check out Microsoft's Xbox 360 wireless racing wheel. This wheel had a very solid build and was well put together. All the controls of your standard wireless controller are right there on the front of the wheel with very accessible paddles for easy shifting. Pedals felt very good and had enough spring tension to add to the realism and not feel like some cheap toy. And in a very clever design decision, your ankles and heels are used to keep the pedal base in place. It's genius. The only real downside to this is the wheels did not offer a full 720 degrees of rotation like in a real car. But the force feedback from the very solid feeling wheel still left you feeling like you were always in control of the car. The best part, this wheel is wireless. No cords or wires having to run their way to the console. The setup was easy, but asked you to set up and install some drivers from the included PGR 3 disc. I never actually saw the install take place, but the wheel worked like a charm on both PGR 3 and 4. The wheel is currently available, and it can be found at most retailers for around $129. For Texas Gamer, I'm Mark Adams.